Hey, everybody. Welcome to the First Day Podcast. I'm Michael Govier.
And I'm Leanne. Hello.
She sure is. We are live together in person for the second time or third time ever.
Third, I think.
This is our third show together in person. Look at that. Oh.
That's so nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Welcome in. It's Tuesday. It's a special edition. We're trying to get in the final show before the new year kicks in.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No, I actually can't. It does not.
Nobody can.
Doesn't feel like the last week of 2021.
It doesn't?
Mm-mm.
How should it feel?
Different. I don't know. It just feels like the holidays kind of just came up on me, and I just don't feel like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh. Happy New Year, brother. Welcome in. Good to have you aboard. We are live, of course. firstdaypod@gmail.com is the way to contact us if you want to send us an email. In 2022, we'll be doing more and more and more, just like we did in 2021. Last year, we grew, and we're hoping to grow more by connecting with more of you out there. Wisdom, empowerment, education, the pursuit of understanding of the greater sense of being. That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about 2022 and what we're thinking and how we are going about the thoughts that we have. And we'd love to hear what you guys have to say about your plans for 2022, goal setting. You know, there's a part of the world that thinks these things are lame or cheesy, and that's really the blame goes to the people who are disingenuous. People in every space, in every profession, doctors and lawyers and carpenters, contractors. I mean, everybody has people in their profession or their realm that have made they've made it worse for people. They made it more difficult or challenging. They presented a false front or a bogus front. People get exposed later. You know, people look like they're honest and caring, and then they're not. And that's why when it comes to self-help, self-improvement, you know, those are terms that get labeled with a certain connotation that will immediately remove a certain percentage of people from even trying to attempt to engage in the discussion, you know?
Yes.
And this is something I talk about all the time. I talked about it when we first dated because Leanne's always talking about this stuff openly and honestly and with total authenticity. She always has. And I wanted to, if we're going to do a show like this, I wanted to make sure that it was real and it wasn't cheesy. And you can't avoid being cheesy about certain things. I don't mind being cheesy, in fact. I don't.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just important that people know we're here to help. We want to learn too. We're like you. We're just typical human beings.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is we don't want to just do this show about goals and what 2022 looks like because that's what like all the hashtags are going to be all week is, you know, okay, so anyway, I got to stop looking at the comments. So
squirrel.
Yes. Yes. But that's not just the reason why we're doing it. We're doing it because it is going into 2022, and I genuinely love these conversations. I love hearing people and
She does.
how they goal set and why they goal set and what parts of their life they goal set around. And like, it doesn't matter how much I learn about it and how much I talk about it. There's always like a nugget that when you're talking to people, there's like, oh, I never really thought about that. Or, oh, that's a really cool way of doing that. And so I really do love having these conversations all year round. And then it's just cool because this week is the week that even if you haven't really been a goal setter, you kind of like are intrigued a little bit because people are talking about it. But then also the older we get and the more we do New Year's resolutions and realize that, you know, 3 weeks into January, most people are like done, then it makes it a little bit more difficult to want to do that every year because you're like, oh, what's a sense?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right.
But it's still, I think, a good thing to have a conversation about. I feel like it is something that should be readdressed either every month or every quarter because we change, because we learn and we grow, and you want to change those things. you can have your main kind of goal of what you're going after, but you might hit it quicker than you thought you were going to. And then what? You just give up and like mail it in for the rest of the year? You want to kind of keep adjusting. And if what you're going after right now, you might have a major goal of what you want next year to look like. And then as you're going into it, you might be like, yeah, I don't even know why I said that because I don't actually have any interest in that anymore. That's okay to change that. Not just, oh, well, I've told everybody, so I better make sure that I can kind of, are we good? Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Trying to share a mic. So,
we're sharing a microphone. You can tell, but if you're listening to the podcast version, you don't know that till now.
Yeah.
It's a good mic, though. I think it's picking everything up properly.
Yeah, hopefully they couldn't tell. Okay.
I got it cranked.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yay!
Okay.
Now I've totally distracted you.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on and see.
Well, Josh had a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals or things you want to discuss here on the First Day Pod in 2022? Ooh. Do we have any goals or things you want to discuss? Well, we always do that on the show, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Leanne. Go ahead. Give us a goal for 2022. I know you got about 1 million of them, so give me one.
I actually, to be quite honest, I haven't really thought through my goals. That's something that I want to. What I do usually, I kind of have like all of these like goals that I kind of throw out there, and I don't really question any of them. I'm like, oh, well, if it came to me, then that means that I want it, and that's what I want to do. And this year I want to do it differently, that I want to write out my goals, but then I really want to address each one before I commit to them and ask myself if it's something that I really want or if it's something that I've always thought that I wanted. And so like, I'm just kind of keeping it on the list. Is it something that's realistic that in the next, 12 months, is it realistic for something that I want to shoot for? Or is it something that maybe I do want in my, 5-year plan, but I don't really need to be focusing on it in the next 12 months. So I really want to...
I don't have a 5-year plan.
So I really want to think through... We'll talk about that. I feel like it's a good thing to have.
I've never had one.
I think it might be fun to think about.
Of course, you love that stuff.
Yeah.
I've never had a 5-year plan. I've thought about things I want to do in the short term, a year or so. I don't think I've ever honestly had a 5-year plan. Never. 5-year plans have a negative connotation for me. They remind me of the Soviet Union and authoritarianism. So you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I do, but I
Joseph Stalin's 5-year plans, they're classic. It's not important. The bottom line is a 5-year plan could be very useful, right?
Yes.
Because
then it allows you to really grow and think bigger. It allows you to kind of dream about something bigger.
Dream.
Yeah.
Dream, dream, dream. Sorry.
Welcome to our life. So, it allows us to dream bigger and think about things that we wouldn't necessarily think that we could do in the next year. And then by having that 5-year goal or 5-year plan, it's actually fascinating because the more that you focus on that, the quicker you can achieve it. And that 5-year plan could very easily turn into a 1-year accomplishment. So anyway, that's why I think it's really important. I don't know that I've ever had a 5-year plan that I've actually watched to see if it's happened in 5 years, but it kind of gives me it lets me off the hook instead of having the stress of having a year plan and then like, okay, next December I'm gonna like have to check into this and what if I didn't do it? It's like, it's so far ahead that I don't really have to worry about it. But then because I'm like keeping it as a goal, then it's top of mind and you make different choices. So
Josh says, I have to set to keep my current plan with my health in 2022. This year I'm down 43 pounds. Way to go, Josh, 43 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah, that's great, dude. That's fabulous. I'm very pleased for you. Not because this is what society wants, but because you're going to be healthier and you'll have a better day-to-day life the healthier you are. We all will. He also says, I am on task to achieve my BSIT in 2022. I don't know. I'm sure it's like basic
what is a
goal,
BSIT?
basic, some type of BMI thing or something. What is that, Josh? Let us know what that is.
Yeah.
Josh also follows up with, so you want to quantify a goal and make sure you set yourself up to achieve your goal. Is this what you were getting at, Leanne? Is this what you're getting at, Leanne?
I don't know if that's what I was getting at, but yeah, absolutely. You need to quantify a goal.
Absolutely. Make it real. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Share it with your loved ones.
Yes.
Write it down. She loves to write things down. She's very big on the, what did you do earlier? I have a shirt up on the wall. It says, fix the shit. It's a shirt from the No Bullshit News Hour, which is a great podcast, by the way. If you're not listening to it, in 2022, that should be one of your goals this year. Listen to the No Bullshit News Hour with Charlie LaDuff, Karen Dumas. She's a great PR person, used to work in government locally. She's a nice balance. It's kind of like our show. Charlie LaDuff is very extreme and loud and crass at times. I'm not that way, but I can be at times. Meanwhile, you are just like Karen Dumas. You guys have a lot in common with you're very pleasant and kind and more. You have grace and manners, right?
I try.
You do. Of course you do.
Yeah.
Anyways, check that out. But I have a shirt for them that says fix the shit. And I have it hanging up on the blinds in my room near my bed next to the Christmas tree. And I did it for a video and I just kept it up there. But she's like, no, keep it there. It's good. Because
it's a constant reminder
of
fixing what's wrong with everything out there. And so even though we can't fix everything, it's nice to constantly remind ourselves so then we can do the little things. Everybody can do a little something to make the world a little bit of a better place.
Yeah! So that's what she loves. A symbol, a physical reminder that says, hey, I wake up every day and I see that. And you internalize it. It's not a guarantee. Science hasn't proven this, but it certainly can help certain people. So it depends what type of learner you are, what type of, we all have a different way of absorbing the world around us. Like you.
I have but actually science has proven it. If you do, it's just true. If you see something,
say something.
But if you see something every single day, eventually it becomes part of your subconscious. Like that's just fact.
That's just the way.
That's just the way that it is, and that's why the news works. The news isn't new every time that you listen to it. It's not news. It's not, because if it was news,
good call.
If it was news, if it was something new every single time, you would never internalize everything that was happening. The fact of the matter is that the 5 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the 7 o'clock news, the internet news, the everything news is the exact same thing, same message over and over and over and over and over again. So then it's part of your subconscious. So you internalize all of that. And so that's why you think the world is super broken. It is broken, but you're not internalizing all of the good things that are happening because you're not seeing that every single day. So if you do, oh my goodness. So if you do look at something every single day, I would really find it interesting if you took something that you really wanted to do, like with your B-sit. I don't know what your B-sit is, Josh. I don't know what that is.
We're going to find out.
I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Here it is. Okay. The answer is a Bachelor's of Science Information Technology with major in software development. The abbreviation is B-sit.
Oh my gosh.
Not to be confused with the No B Shit News. No BS News podcast.
I love it. Okay, so that's awesome. So if you have that, I mean, that's a pretty hefty goal. So you're obviously going to have to work for that. But if you have that you keep saying that you're going to achieve this in 2022, and you say that every single day, you're going to be doing the things every day to get yourself a little bit closer. It's just the way that it is. If you forget about it, if I said right now that I wanted to achieve some sort of designation or certification or something and just said it here on the show, and then I never looked at it again and I never talked about it again,
never. Chances
are next year when we revisit this and see what we did, I probably will have never have done any because it didn't sit internally. Like there was no subconscious because I wasn't repeating it. So there is science behind it. Repeating it is really, really powerful. So congratulations. I'm really excited for you, Josh. That's going to be amazing to finish that this year.
Woo!
That's awesome.
Chances are. You just said chances are. I thought of that. So.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Mathis. I think he's dead, right? He's got to be dead. Yeah, he's way dead.
I would imagine.
I hope he's not, but that's life. You know, it's a natural cycle. We live, we die, we repopulate the earth with our leftovers.
Okay, so
Right? Does that make sense? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Josh has 5 classes away until he's done. Start rolling on classes January 4th. So hitting the year running. Hit the ground running, bro. Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Finish that thing up. That's been a long haul for you. I know that personally. So I'm rooting for you. Just a daily focus, one day at a time. It's the most lame, cliche thing you'll ever hear, one day at a time. People hate it because it's so simple. But it does work. It can be useful for so many, many, many different things. I know the truth. Leanne knows it. Check out this sweater she's wearing. Isn't this cool as hell? This is a local purchase. Look at it.
I love it.
What's the name of the store?
It was called Dose. Dose.
Dose.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It is, well, a lot of people know where the Shinola store is on
The hotel
Woodward.
and the store on Woodward.
Yeah, right across the street. And it's a super cute little place. It's a little boutique that is, it's a collective of, I think, 27.
That's right. You got it right. 27.
Yeah, 27 artists and, artists and creators. And so they've got all local, all made in Detroit, all curated from people in Detroit. And I wish I knew. I actually have to call tomorrow. I want to find out who the person behind this was.
Who made this? Somebody out there on the internet. Find out who made this sweater. It's from Dose in Detroit.
I love it.
It's a beautiful sweater.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so colorful, but it's so comfy.
It is.
It's not quite wool, but it's part wool.
Yeah, it's wool and acrylic, and it's so comfy. I love it. So yeah, so Mike got that for me for Christmas.
I just bought it because we were at the store the other day, but she calls it my Christmas gift. So hey, she likes to label things. She's obsessed with labels. One thing about Leanne is she's obsessed with labels. She just can't let them go.
No.
That's not true. It's sarcasm. I put the website on there, so it looks like you could possibly order things online and such. Here you go. TheDoseCollective.com. Check out their stuff. It's not too pricey. This is pretty reasonable, I feel like. So.
There was, the majority of things there were super reasonable. Usually when you go into a boutique, especially if it's a local boutique and everything was made in, here it's made in Detroit. That is pretty slick. This should have definitely been over $100. Like 100%.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And it wasn't because it was on sale. That's how they priced themselves. So it is very cool. It's a really pretty boutique, but they have like super cute like jewelry, accessories.
Yeah. Cups, glasses.
Yeah.
It says Detroit stuff on it.
Oh, so. It's so neat. And yeah, so you can go to that website. Thank you for posting that. That's awesome.
Oh my God, I did it. So yeah, check it out. You can email the show, firstdaypod@gmail.com if you want to know more about anything, of course. Don't forget, we have the book club. We're currently on a hiatus, because the holidays are here, but we're getting ready to ramp up for another year. This will be the 3rd year, believe it or not. 3 years. Where's the 3? There it is. This will be the 3rd year. We started the book club in 2020.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you got there?
Time flies. Okay, so this is the book that we're doing. So I'm really excited. On our Facebook, I will put a list of the books that we're going to be doing, because normally we pick book for book. But this time what we did is we voted on I think our top 3.
Yeah,
so
we share our top 3 of a list that is shared by all of us that we created.
Yeah, and so we've got our next 3 or 4 books. I can't remember, but it's going to take us well into the summer. So we have them all. And this is, there we go. Oh, I see what's happening. That's so interesting because I'm getting too close to the... Anyway, sorry, people that are listening just to the audio version, but we're screwing up our background by holding up the book. It's so interesting.
Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results by Jimmy Clear.
It's called Atomic Habits. It is such a good book. I've had this book for probably a year, and I have kept going into it and just getting little bits and pieces, but I'm actually really excited about it. And if you go on his website, he has a newsletter chain that you can be a part of, and it's a 30-day habit formation kind of thing where he gives you tips every couple days. So I'm starting it. I signed up for it. Oh, what is happening?
What's wrong? You okay?
Yeah.
You want to pause the show?
No, I just don't know where I'm supposed to
You keep talking when you're talking. I'm just making it so it's good for you. You're doing great here. We're sharing a microphone. It's the first time we've done this, so we're hoping that you can hear us reasonably well. It's a nice microphone. I bought it in 2020, actually. Wow, that was 2020.
Wow.
I had this for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm really, the thing is, expensive things or things that seem more pricey at the time, they're worth it a lot of the time. Not all the time, but in cases like microphones, things that can be physically better than other products, it's worth it. I bought this microphone as an investment in myself, as an investment in my future. I didn't just buy it so I could say, "Oh, check out this mic. It's $500." You know, I didn't say that. My goal was to use a great mic because I believed that what I wanted to do was to be broadcasting. You know, our podcast, the other podcasts I do, other things that I work on through the internet, live streams, audio, video. This is like, all right, I'm motivated. And it helps me at that. It's a little thing, but those little things like that, I think they help. I think they can be of use in terms of your motivation and why you're trying to do something that you want to do in the first place if you think you don't have a reason for it.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Josh has a comment. Read it, Leanne. Go ahead.
Actually had a class earlier in the year focusing on communication. It was great at focusing on skills and techniques to become a better communicator in all aspects of life.
Oh.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's a good call. We all could use that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who doesn't want to be a better communicator in 2022? I do.
No, you want to. Yeah.
No, who doesn't?
You don't want to?
Oh, crap. Yeah. I don't know. I say things and sometimes they go on the air live. Anyways, we all want to improve our communication skills.
Yes, absolutely. And our listening skills, which is a huge part of communication.
That's a great point. And not just because you're my girlfriend. That's a really good point because we always say we got to communicate better, but listening is a massive part of it. In fact, we watched 2 different shows during Christmas Day, post-Christmas Day and Monday. We watched I Love Lucy. We watched the new one, Being the Ricardos. Check that out if you want. I Love Lucy. Interesting movie. Mm-hmm. Nicole Kidman, she wasn't really happy. She feels like Nicole Kidman didn't quite look like Lucille Ball, but hey, anyways, that doesn't matter. What does matter is one of the characters says, I become a really good listeners are people who talk less. Mm-hmm. Something around that. Like the less you talk, the more you'll learn.
Yes.
And the better of a listener you are, the more you can understand about the people around you. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else said it in another thing we watched. So it was weird. Mm-hmm. 2 different situations where
Ted Lasso.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's time to listen more. She loves Ted Lasso, of course. Mm-hmm. If you've never seen Ted Lasso, it's on Apple TV Plus if you can find access to it. It's a funny show, but it's also heartwarming, and it's a change of pace show because it's not cynical. I mean, there's cynics in it, but it has a angle about being more optimistic and sticking to your desires and your hopes and your goals. And even when you run into troubles that could really bring you down, you stay focused on your original message.
Yes.
Even when it's the most hardest to, because it can be a lot easier to give in to more cynical responses, cruel responses. Feel like if you're being attacked, it's easier to come right back and attack people. What's harder to do is to accept it and even say, wow, you're probably right. Right? Mm-hmm. That's the real cheddar, as they say. Josh has another comment. I have come to believe that being a better communicator can improve mental health by alleviating stress of trying to understand self and social awareness and getting a message across to people. So he's come to believe that being a better communicator can improve his mental health by alleviating stress. That's
huge.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's awesome, Josh.
That's the story.
Yeah.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned a hole. No, this is the story. This is the bottom line, is it not?
Yes, absolutely. Josh, that is amazing. That's the big thing. And not none of us, but a lot of us have a really hard time communicating. And it's funny because everybody thinks that I'm like an extrovert and I talk all the time and I wear my heart on my sleeve and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, boy.
I don't. And I don't hide it. I just don't realize that I'm not having it come across.
She's not who you guys think she is, folks.
I am.
She's not.
I am.
No, people assume. You just said that.
Yeah, no, but this is who I am. But there's also a very big part of me that is very...
You don't have to lean in the microphone.
Okay.
Just keep talking like you're talking. It's okay.
But there is also a very big part of me that is very much an introvert, very much not hiding who I am or hiding my feelings, but not realizing that I need to vocalize them. I want people to tell me how they're feeling. I want people to express their feelings to me. I want people to like let me be there for them. But then I have had a very difficult time. Why are you laughing?
I was making a dumb face. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to look in the camera.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
I'm trying to look. I'm having a hard time looking in the camera, but then I also want to be talking to you, and I feel like I want to be talking to like the people. Okay,
these are the people right here.
I know. Hi guys. Hi. So now I can't see when Mike's being silly. So anyway, yeah. So I have a very difficult time with that, and that's something that I've been working on 2021. Actually, 2020. Yeah, those 2 years are probably the biggest years that I've been trying to work on it. And so, Josh, you're absolutely right. Like, I feel like my mental health has been a lot better. Not that I've had, like, I don't feel like I've never been diagnosed with anything, like, serious with my mental health. However, I do feel like we all struggle with expressing ourselves. And that's why, Josh, I think you're so bang on. That's the whole thing. We don't have the communication. My mom actually bought my sister a gift this year, and it was called the emotional thesaurus.
Happy birthday, Jen.
Yeah. I wanted to do that. I actually want to do that at the top of the show. Jennifer, happy birthday. Oh, it's my sister's birthday today, and I'm not with her. I miss her dearly. I talked to her this morning, so happy birthday, Jay. Anyway, yeah, that is huge. And so she got her a thesaurus called the emotional thesaurus, where you can see different ways of actually expressing what you think you're feeling. So important. What? I'm
trapped here. Could you get my water? I'm really thirsty. We're talking a lot. It's right by the TV in the bedroom. Sorry, she's getting my water for me just because I'm stuck here. But we're live here talking. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What are you doing for 2022? What's on the agenda? Are you really taking a chance, or is it just business as usual? Do you not have any grand goals that you're setting up? Thank you so much. I love you dearly. And are you really just like, I kind of like where I am in my life, and right now I'm just going to keep threading that needle, doing what I do, sticking to what I know? Or are you very curious? Like, man, there's so much to know about this world, so much to see. And sure, there's COVID, and that can limit some of your travel plans. I understand that. We both understand that. Mm-hmm. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
There's so much of this world I want to see and share. But when you're in a relationship, you don't want to be selfish. You want to make sure that you're being reasonable and you're meeting the needs of your partner both ways, right? So if you have massive travel plans and the other person isn't interested, something like that could actually maybe be a big problem down the road. I mean, we want to go places, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't know if 2022 will be a huge year for that, but we are really excited about getting back to traveling. And hopefully 2023...
Yes.
When your parents have their big anniversary coming up, and we go to Europe. We were talking about that.
Yes.
That would be cool. I've never been to Europe. They have.
Yes.
Her and her family have gone.
Yes.
So that sounds like fun to me.
Yes.
So I'm excited for things like that. Not this year, but in the 5-year plan. So you like that 5-year plan? But for this year, the big word I thought of, so we thought about this in the car too. What's like one word that would describe your 2022?
Yes.
What was yours?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is confidence. Believe it or not, I'm talking right now. For those of you that know me or don't know me, you might think, oh, this guy's a confident guy. He's talking on the microphone, on a screen, to people on the internet. And I'm not nervous at all. I enjoy doing this. It's very natural for me, but at the same time, there's a lack of confidence within this face and this guy here about my ability and my beliefs about things I know about the world or things I think I know. So the lack of confidence comes from the fact that I don't trust myself, and I never did. I've always had a tremendous amount of doubt, tons of self-doubt. It was instilled with me for certain reasons growing up, because that's childhood for me. There was a lot of fear and doubt. It's nobody's fault. It's just part of my upbringing. But then as I became a more mature human being, I still didn't have a confidence. I know things, right? I understand the world. I try to understand myself more and more each day, but when it comes to making a decision, sticking with it, and seeing it through with total confidence, I don't always do that. There's a lot of uncertainty and doubt that creeps into all of my life choices and thoughts, and I very much would like to fix that. Not fix it, but work on it. Improve on it. Make adjustments. Be aware of it. Identify it. And see if I can flip the script on that in 2022 for me. No doubt about it. Josh says self and social awareness is a huge part of it. By understanding how you are viewed by people around you and how you are aware of your surroundings. Yeah, that's true, man. How people see you in your real life, day-to-day operations. Check in, ask people, get more feedback. I think a lot of us just assume that people think certain things about us, but really we could be way off, right?
Yes.
Even the people we love, like me and her. We still have, I learned something. She's like she wants to be on a motorcycle. She loves motorcycles. I had no idea. She told me this the other day.
And I always thought that we had this conversation years ago. And I just wrote it off like, okay, if I want to be with Mike, then I just have to realize I will never be on a motorcycle unless I find a friend that has one. So I just thought that that wasn't going to be in my future. And then just because, we had the conversation and now it could be. So those were a lot of stories actually for myself, just like assuming that we already had the conversation. So anyway.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different thing.
But it was very
That's a whole nother.
But it's very interesting.
You're interesting.
Oh,
you are. You're so fascinating. Mom says overcome. That's right, Mom. We shall overcome.
I like that one.
2022, her word is overcome. I like that.
I like it.
But overcome doesn't mean be, violent and steadfast. And I'm going to overcome no matter what the cost. No. Overcome through understanding, listening, patience, reflection, periods of silence where you sit there and say nothing because it's silence. So that makes sense, right? Yes. These are just options. You guys can do it any way you want. If you want to get violent and angry, you can do that too.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure your mom's on probably the ladder of what you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Well, Josh says, I felt that way sometimes with bachelors, Mike. I just kept at it and proved to myself I can do it regardless of my own doubt. Josh is talking about his bachelor's degree. Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Right on, Josh. What's this? You want to share something, Leanne?
Yeah, I do. So it was actually something that your mom sent to me.
Oh.
As a suggestion for tonight. So she said, as the year comes to an end, take some time to check in with yourself. And I love this whole thing. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so are you happy with the direction you're heading? Are you proud of the effort that you have given? So probably in like the last year or last couple of years. What can you do better? Then she said, be ambitious, but be realistic. Be harsh with yourself, but do so with compassion at the core. Self-improvement is not always easy, and it shouldn't have to be. The kindness comes in knowing that you are becoming your best possible self. So, Michelle, I thought that was awesome. She saw that, or bits of that, in a yoga post that she saw. And she wanted to share it with me, and I'm so grateful because I think that's really important. And one of the things that I wanted to really pull out of there was the part that it says, be ambitious, but be realistic, and be harsh with yourself, but do so with compassion. I think this has been, we've seemed to, and I don't know, let me know if you guys have felt this way, but I feel like, and I can't tell you the years of where this happened or 5 years ago or whatever, but I feel like we've gone from where we were growing up and it was you had to work at things you wanted. You had to, it was not always going to be easy. There was always going to be things that you had to overcome and things that you were maybe not going to be able to do and you had to work harder to be able to do them, Somewhere along the line, and I don't know if it's just I'm seeing this or whatever, it seems like now people are just if there's any kind of work that you have to do towards something, then it just is not for me. Then it's this is obviously not my path because everything should be easy and come easy. And I can't be hard on myself. And I have to, we have to be what is his face? You don't agree with this?
Who says this?
I find a lot of people that I'm seeing make it sound like right now. So
Are you seeing other people?
Yes. Yeah. So
we like to have fun.
For instance, the nails. So I sell nails now as a side hustle. And that's a social selling, network marketing kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that they try to, not in my personal business, but in the industry, is oh, you could have this like amazing business and you can just like have complete freedom and you don't have to work all the hours and you don't have to do this and it'll just come easy. So then people have this thing that they're going to go into these things that they don't have to work for it. You have to work for anything that you really want. And so there's some sort of taboo where like I'm not able to say, hey guys, if you want to be on my team and you want to work, you can really make a good living from this. No, I'm supposed to pretend that like, no, you don't even have to show up. You could just like tell people about the nails and it'll be fine. So this whole part about being harsh with yourself, but doing with compassion, I feel like a lot of people aren't having that dual thing. They're not being harsh enough with themselves. They're thinking that I'm just not good enough, or I'm just, this isn't for me because it's too hard. And they're not saying, you know what, I haven't developed the skills that I need for this. And nobody wants to do that training or do that work or do the extra step that you have to take. So what I would say, that's why I picked discipline as my word, because I don't want to just say, okay, well, I'm going to take the easy route on everything. I want to be disciplined in my eating. I want to be disciplined in my working out. I want to be harsh on myself. I don't want to give myself grace, but I don't want to let myself off the hook. Like, oh, okay, well, you haven't worked out all week. Who cares? That's fine. No, why didn't you? And I feel like that's why discipline is going to be really important for me this year. I think that sentence was really important because I think we have to be kind to ourselves, but I think we all need to kind of step up our game and not be hard on ourselves in a way that we're being mean to ourselves, but be hard on yourself. And if you're not getting what you want, it's probably because you're not like, I don't know why you're not getting what you want, but I think a lot of it comes down to you're not
careful now.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes to we're not working hard enough and we're not working smart enough and we're not asking ourselves what skills do we need to accomplish the things that we want. We both have always struggled with our weight and we have tried everything and he's doing Noom. And Noom is something that he is committing to because he's trying to learn the skills of how to have a better relationship with food. So it's not a matter of just, was that the Noom? Yeah, that's amazing. But you knew that you needed a little something different. You needed to have skills that you needed to develop. And so you were hard on yourself, like harsh or whatever. And you said, okay, what do I need to do to make this better?
I wasn't hard on myself.
Not hard on yourself.
We're already hard on ourselves. I don't think it's the right word.
It's not the right word probably, but
because we're our worst critic. We always are.
But we need to be realistic with why things aren't working.
Yeah, we need to be honest.
Okay. Honest with ourselves. That's better. I like that better than harsh.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be genuine. If we're going to be genuine to the outward public, then we need to be authentic with ourselves.
Yes.
And say, hey.
Yes.
No lying to me. And having some honest self-reflection here that says, you know what? Reality check.
Yes.
You may need to not work harder or smarter. You may need to expand your base of understanding.
Right.
Through other outposts. You may need to go hit up somebody who knows more about something than you do.
Yes.
Which makes sense to me. And that's why I use Noom. The things Noom tells me, I pretty much do know because I've already had so much experience in this cognitive behavioral therapy and all that jazz. I know how conditioning can create a habit and a routine. That's how it works, right? You just repeat it and you stick with it, and eventually it just becomes part of your normal everyday life. And Noom says, hey, log your meals with calorie counting, which was the other time in my life I got in the best shape of my life. Calorie counting was calorie logging, at least. Not counting, not like a Weight Watchers counting or obsession, but just logging what you're eating. It sets a bar for you. When I got in the best shape of my life in 2010 and 11, it was because I wasn't using Noom. I used another program, Applied Fitness in Ann Arbor. If it's still there, I don't know. We haven't been there since 2020, or early 2021. No, that was 2020. Oh my God, so long ago.
Wow.
Applied Fitness is a place in Ann Arbor where you can go work out, and they also give you trainers and stuff if you want it. You log your meal plans. They check in and do a BMI every 6 weeks so you can see the path of where you're going. And when I did that in 2010, 11, it was perfect for me. It was ideal because I followed through. I learned new things at the time, and I saw goals that were achievable bit by bit. And that was a whole new experience for me. So now I still have that experience, but I use Noom as an app because it's personal and easier for me. I don't have to go anywhere, and it logs the meals. I weigh myself every day, which is a big thing for me. I've always been anti-weighing. The obsession with the scale has always been a huge problem. We've debated this several times, haven't we not?
Yeah, we've done it on the show, actually. We've talked about it on the show.
No way!
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably did. She loves the scale. She thinks it's vital because...
Well, and I struggled with it too, because I was getting to the point that I wasn't using it properly.
We both were polar opposite extremes.
Yes.
No scale ever.
Yep. Scale at least once a day, usually twice. If
Maybe
I wasn't
more.
feeling good about myself, maybe more. But I do feel like you need to check in. You need to see where you're at.
Chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's what Ice Cube said, okay? Mom says be kindly accountable. That's nice.
Ooh, I like that, Michelle.
Write that one down, Leanne.
Yes. Well, we'll have it in the thing.
Oh, Josh says, do not eat after 8 p.m. It will help your body process your intake for the day. It has been difficult to keep the discipline. That's your word. Discipline, word of the day. But like I said, Josh has lost 43 pounds in 2 months.
Amazing.
Hell yeah, man.
Josh.
Woo! Since Josh got home and was left to his own devices, he's lost 18 pounds.
That's wonderful.
That's great, right?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You'd think it would, yeah.
Remember the last show, we talked about the Chick-fil-A sandwich. It sucked. So
Right.
you're like, oh, this is not good for me. And Josh has got his own health issues. Some of us have more challenges than others currently, and we have to be aware of them and not take them for granted. But we also have to decide if we really care about ourselves.
Yes.
If you're setting goals for 2022 and you don't, I've lived a life where I didn't care about me. I would do things that gratified me immediately, but I didn't really care about myself. I didn't care about what would happen for me. I just got so negative and dismissive, and a lot of things happened. It's too complicated to explain. And even if I could explain the story, it would just be so bizarre. It's hard to explain. But what I did is just kind of, I accepted a way of life. Is this how it's always going to be? I never thought it could get better. I had like a limiter. You know, you ever drive a moving truck? You rent a truck to move, and you can't drive it past a certain speed limit because they don't want you going that fast. It has a limiter on it, you know? So you can only go like 72. You can't go 75. And it's annoying because I want to go faster. But anyways, I had a limiter on myself because I didn't care enough about myself, not about my needs. I took care of my basic needs. But, you know, the fundamental self-esteem, self-love, self-care wasn't there. And that got stuck in my head at an early age, and that's nobody's fault but my own in the end. It's just something that happened to me, and the only thing that you can do about it is to recognize it and try to do physical actions, mental actions, any type of outward action, or inward, frankly, to change it. So you can recognize it and then attempt to deal and reconcile and work through it. So you can't necessarily just change things immediately, but there is a way forward. There is. So you have to decide in 2022, if you want to set a goal and you want it to work out, why? And is it because you hate yourself and you want to change it? That's not going to work. Like if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I hate this about me, I'm going to change it. That's not a motivation that's going to stick for long. It won't have staying power. Fair?
Yeah. It helps some people. Some people.
No, temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily, but it's not a major fix. If it's something that you've been working on for a long time, you know that you've tried this a long time. Yeah. So if it's something that's new, that you had your 2020 where you just gained 20 pounds and all of a sudden that's new for you, that might be enough for you. That might be, you know what I mean? Like, because it might be new. You might not have ever struggled with weight. And so this might be enough and you'll go and you'll be great. But if what's interesting is a lot of the time our goals, and I'm just going to speak for myself, but a lot of the time the goals are recycled from year to year to year to year to year. And because we just are not serious.
That's why people make fun of New Year's resolutions. Because it's the same shit every year.
Yeah, you can just pull it out and just replay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this repetitive process, and people get sick of it because they've heard it before. Oh, here we go. It's a new calendar. Mm-hmm. But, you know, in truth, you could start something in May or October.
Yep.
We don't need that. It's just, you know, look, we wrote this thing up here. It's on the wall to our right. the big whiteboard that says, Happy New Year. It's almost a year old now because we wrote it on New Year's Day. And it says Mike and Leanne on each side. And we've talked about this before on the show. I've shown the board. I think I showed a picture of it when we did the show a while back. We were last week's show, Year in Review. That was part of it. Yep. And now in 2022, we haven't even talked about doing a board yet. In fact, it's December 28th. And we still are not exactly clear what our relationship goals are, which is something we're going to use this time together to talk about. We're spending 10 days together. This is awesome. We've been together for several days already.
Yes.
It's fun.
It really is. It's awesome. It's awesome.
So we're going to have to work on that. We got some more work to do. We're not done yet. But even if we don't have it all mastered by, Friday, which is New Year's Eve, don't put any pressure on yourself. It's ridiculous. That's just an arbitrary moment in time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Every single day can be the first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah, the original name of this show, the first day of the rest of our lives. That was the original name.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of taken on a different... So originally, the reason why we had it was that it was like... it was always usually around our weight, and it was always like tomorrow will be the first day of the rest of our lives.
That's a lot. It was always food focused, sure, but... It was always the same way when I took opioids. I'm like, all right, today's the last day. Tomorrow, the first day of the rest of my life. No more. This is the last one.
Yeah. So then today was ridiculous. It was the binge eating. It was okay, I can do whatever I want because tomorrow's the day that I'm going to change. And now we kind of look at it like today, right now. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's, what time is it? It's
8:47.
8:47. Right now can be the decision that this is the first day of the rest of our lives. And from now on, this is where we make the changes. And so I'm really, really excited. And I really want to keep that up, even in the podcast, of really checking in and seeing how we're all doing, because I think it can just it doesn't, like Mike said, it doesn't have a finite, like, okay, if you didn't make up your decision by January 1st, then forget it. If you haven't hit your goals by whatever, it doesn't matter. We just need to keep checking in with each other and keep checking in with ourselves. And Josh was asking earlier about if it was going to be quantified, like if you have to quantify your goals. And I heard something, and I can't remember where I heard it, where they talk about, you put a number on it. So you put a number on, and you put a date on whatever you want, whatever your goal is. And the goal, and I think we talked about this last week anyway, but you put a date on it because then it gives you a sense of urgency, and it'll allow your brain to kind of refocus into, okay, I need to do these things. If you don't actually have a date on it, it'll never get done. But the reason why we need to quantify it is so then we can see if we're getting there. If we say that I'm going to lose weight, then if you lose 5 pounds, then you can say, great, I did it. I technically lost weight, even if you have 40 that you want to lose. So you want to quantify it. But if you don't hit what you wanted by the date you wanted it, don't change your goal. If the goal means something to you, don't look at yourself like you're a failure. It just took a little bit longer. And so change the date of the goal, but never the goal.
Boom or bust. All or nothing. All or nothing behavior is awful. All or nothing thinking is awful. It's not going to get the job done for anybody. Trust me, I'm the master of it. I spent many years trying that.
I've lived there for many, many years.
Excess, all of everything, and then none of it.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You eat a ton of garbage, and then the next day you starve yourself.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it sounds perfect.
Yeah. It's just really silly. I think you already know that. If you don't know that, write this down, because I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
Keeping it real goes wrong. We're the ones who suffer. We really are. So we don't want anyone to suffer out there. We want you guys to have a fantastic 2022 and an end to 2021.
Yeah.
We got a couple more days left. We're going to make the most of it together here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about stuff.
Yes.
Our future. Mm-hmm. A 5-year plan. We're going to write it down.
What's exciting is not even having the goals, just figuring out who you want to be, who you want to become, what you want your life to look like, and write yourself a little story of what you want your life to look like. I think that's such a cool way of doing it. And did I bring it up last week? Maybe. that a friend of mine suggested that we write ourselves a congratulation letter, like a way to go on all the things that you accomplished, and date it for next year.
Yeah.
And then write it and then seal it up. And then you open it up the next year, but you really write in depth of what you want that year to look like. All the things like got your motorcycle license and did all these other things.
Yeah.
But okay, put up what Michelle said. I really like that.
Fine. What does it say?
It says, instead of New Year resolutions, how about New Year intentions?
Yeah. All right. There you go. That's a smart call.
I love that.
Intent. What is your intent?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they get charged with murder, what was your intent? Was your intent to murder someone, or was it an accident? You know, these things matter, because if it's intentional, then you get a stiffer sentence and you could be executed for it. This is what intent's all about. It defines how much you thought about it, how much time you put into it. Maybe that's not like the best example for a positive intention that you're trying to put out in the world. Mm-hmm. I'll work on that. But my point being is that your intention.
Yes.
We've had a lot of terrible things happen in this world despite best intentions.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking about it. Intention, I don't know. I got to have a discussion about intentions.
Okay, we will. We absolutely will.
Because intentions and reality, they don't always mesh. They don't always work out.
But intention and resolution, I feel like intention is a resolution to me. It just sounds like this is it and that's all. And it gives you no grace. It gives you and that's why people fall off, because they're like, I'm going to go to the gym every single day. And then you don't. And then you're like, well, I blew it.
Let's sign up for a gym on January 1st.
No.
Why? It's the best time to do it.
No, so we're not going to do that.
Oh,
so
it's not a good time to do it.
No. We don't want a gym. We've got everything we need here. So
we don't. We have some things. We need to get some other things. That'll be part of our breakdown here. What do we need this year?
We have weight. Okay, anyway, who cares? So,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sorry, people. So yeah, Michelle says resolution sounds definitive. Yeah, it does. And that's, I think, where like the whole mental game, that's everything.
Oh, yeah.
And Michelle was sharing with me before about the circle of life, where you have like, and Michelle, I wanted to talk to you about that. I actually printed out sheets to talk to you. So we'll have to do that again before the end of the year. Anyway.
Okay, I like what I'm hearing.
And it's looking at all the aspects of your life instead of just like how much money I'm going to make or I'm going to lose this weight, but looking at all the aspects of our life, because that's the way that our life is. It's very dynamic. It's got a lot of moving parts. And so you kind of do a self-reflection of where you're at in all of these. So then you can see where you're actually really hurting, because usually the way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So if you find out that like maybe you've really been neglecting your family and your personal life, and you're not even aware of that, if you start embracing that and really being there for your family and really being there, that might end up giving you more motivation for everything else. And then your finances, because you might be happier at work, because you're happier at home, and then you might get the bonuses because you're not miserable when you're at work, because your family life is better. It all intertwines. So I think looking up something like that would be super important, looking at your whole life.
Isn't she great, folks?
Don't be weird about it. So anyway,
yeah,
that's
you are.
I think it's a really good way of looking at it.
I'm communicating. I love you very much.
I love
and
you
you
too.
are a fantastic human being.
Okay.
I'm grateful that you share your time with me.
Okay. I love you.
That's part of communicating properly. For me, find it for yourself. What's your process? Think about that too. What's your process for everything this year? In 2022, I am going to go hiking. Okay. Well, what's your process for doing that? You just going to go outside one day and hike? Or do you need hiking boots? Do you need a backpack? Are you going on a hiking trip? What is it? You got to define the parameters, set out your process. These are things that go as subsets for your goals in 2022, right?
Yes. Set yourself up for success.
This is one thing. Yeah, this is one thing I'm doing actually. We're doing not doing the whole trail, but we're doing not her. Sorry, she can go. You can go if you want. No, I want you to go.
No, it's a boys' trip.
Well, know what it is.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're doing the Appalachian Trail in May around Memorial Day weekend, I believe. We're only doing a week of it, not the whole thing, because it would take 6 months to walk the entire Appalachian Trail. It goes from Maine to Georgia. It's long. But we're doing a section of it in West Virginia, I think. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Me and a couple of friends, we're going to give it. We've always wanted to do this. So it's a goal for 2022. But what will be our process? I'm going to have to break it down. I'm going to have to write it out. Everything I'll need. How do I get through it? You can't just show up and do that. It's something that takes
preparation.
Yeah, preparation. That's the word I was looking for. Pre-planned preparation.
Yes.
So think about what your process is for anything you plan to do. And if you have ideas for stuff you want to do, let us know. You don't have to start at January 1st. You can do it February 12th. It doesn't matter what the day is.
Yes.
You can do it on your birthday even. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Tell us what it is. Share with us. firstdaypod@gmail.com. You can hit up all of our social medias and share with us your ideas. Let's get more engagement in 2022. We're going to do better. That's one of our goals, is to improve our engagement in this podcast.
Yes.
Not just doing it and showing up. We have to do stuff during the week.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
We got to talk to people and connect. We have the book club on Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We can send you the link. Let us know if you want to do it. Yep, there's the book. And then we have this show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And as far as I know, it's going to be Sundays for now. That could change again. Who knows? Softball season comes up. Uh-oh. Leon loves softball season. Yeah. Actually, it'd be cool if you came to one of my games. We didn't get to do that last year.
The border's open now. I can.
Yay! See? Yeah. There's so much to look forward to. And life...
I can read the book while you're playing your game.
There it is. Perfect. You don't want to watch a bunch of 40-year-oldish white dudes who are out of shape run around, pretend they're athletes? Come on, it's fun.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, maybe it's not fun. I don't know. It's probably...
I'll be there. I'll support you.
It's lame.
Say hi to the boys.
At any rate, all I know is... we want to be here for you. So if you have any thoughts, concerns, serious ones, even easygoing ideas, throw them our way. firstdaypod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We never use that. We used to do Instagram lives all the time. We don't do that anymore.
Is that something we should do? That might be something that we'll do.
I didn't feel like we got a lot of engagement on it, but if people want to do it, maybe we got to make it happen.
Yeah.
We can't just expect you guys to show up. Yeah. We got to put ourselves out there and provide opportunities for you to come share with us.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
And we did at the beginning in 2020, we did where we were doing like 5-day challenges and 7-day challenges and all that kind of stuff for like what we were eating or whatever. And you can make up your own. And then we did it for a few months and then we stopped doing it.
I don't know if they really ever were executed, but that's my opinion.
You weren't there. It was executed. People were doing it and people were enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay.
But not a lot of people, but I don't care. One person does it and that's enough for me. I'm very happy. So then a couple weeks ago, we brought it back. Push on TikTok. Oh gosh.
We don't have TikTok. Originally they said the Chinese use it as spyware to spy on the United States, and who knows? It's probably true. But it doesn't matter because all these apps spy on us anyways. I should fear my own government as much as another government.
Yeah. Everybody's spying on us.
So maybe it's time for 2022 TikTok, honey. The First Day Pod TikTok.
Yes. Well, we'll see. Or maybe we'll just stick to Reels because we can do like that in Instagram. Maybe we don't have to go to another thing. So anyway,
I don't know.
But Michelle was saying that she liked the challenges. She's been doing it. Ed's been doing it. We've had a couple new people that have done it.
Where you been, Ed? I hope you're watching this or seeing this or hearing this. We miss you, Ed.
Yeah, we do miss you. And Michelle was really enjoying it and I love doing them too. So we're going to bring those back too. But if you guys think of any other kind of challenges that you guys want to do, anything that you want, just hit us up. We're willing to try anything. It's so fun to be a part of. Like I said, this is our favorite part of the podcast is looking at the comments and talking to you guys. And so doing that throughout the week, I think would be really cool.
Yay! All right. Well, I guess that'll do it. This is the end of the year. We hope you had a productive and, memorable 2021. If you didn't, that's okay. If your 2021's god awful and you have nothing but negative thoughts about it, that's totally understandable. And we would hope
it's almost over.
Yeah. You can put that in the rearview mirror, and we're hoping your 2022 will be much better. And if you do have thoughts like that, you can reach out to us. We'd love to try to just listen. We don't have to solve anyone's problems. We're not the problem solvers. We're not the fixer-uppers here. Nope. We got our own issues, trust me. But we do care, and I am a great listener. I don't know if she is, but I'm... No? Yeah.
Nope.
You are a good listener. She's a good listener. She cares. Trust me. I know from experience she's a fine listener.
I do care.
She Cares
I'll tell you that.
tremendously. This is the most empathetic person I've ever met. So if you're looking for somebody who cares and you need someone to reach out to, we'll try to be that for you. We can. We can't make any guarantees for you, but that's why we do this show. You know, we walked around. I felt good about doing it. It was a little thing, but we did that shopping in Detroit at Dose. We bought this sweater. Leanne went out of her way. We went to a CVS. She wanted to share these snacks because there was a lot of people on the street who were homeless. They needed food. They needed money. There's a lot of different things that they needed. And we got Pop-Tarts. That was the best we could do, but it was something.
Well, we did it, yeah, because we were learning as we went. One of the first people that we talked to, he was a doll. He was so nice.
Oh, yeah. He was outside the car as soon as we got out and parked on the street there.
Yeah.
But he didn't have any teeth. We had beef jerky we tried to give him, but he couldn't eat it because he didn't have any teeth. So then we went to CVS and we're like, well, Pop-Tarts, I mean, it's not about so much as a healthy snack. The point is, that's not even the point. The point is that we tried to be of service to people, at least in the smallest way possible. It's something. And we were proud of ourselves because we wanted to do that. We're not sitting here gloating or tooting our horns about, look what we did. We gave Pop-Tarts to homeless people. No, it's not about that. No. It's just that we said, there was bigger ideas that she wanted to do in December, and due to COVID and stuff, we weren't able to execute those. But I was proud of ourselves because we laid out a goal that we wanted to achieve. Even though we maybe didn't hit that goal, we were along the lines of it. And that's why I bring this up, and that's why it feels good when you really want to make a difference in people's lives. And I'm not saying a Pop-Tart made a difference, but that's an example of a small step forward.
But I'll tell you...
And a building block.
Yes, and I'll tell you what did make the difference. It didn't matter if it was a Pop-Tart or what it was. The thing that made the difference is not being ignored and being acknowledged and being heard and being seen.
Yes.
That was the big thing, is that, yes, this helped and yes, this was nice, but it was the first gentleman that we talked to, we walked for a couple blocks with him because we wanted to take him. We were going to go get a coffee, so we said, why don't you come with us and you can come and you can order whatever you want.
She
while
did
you're
all
there.
that.
Doesn't matter who.
I felt weird about it, frankly. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I'm like, I don't know. It's very complicated. So I'm not going to lie.
So anyway, in that walk, we went for a couple of blocks and I got to find out about his family and what brought him to Detroit. And it was just nice talking to him. And he felt heard and he felt listened to and seen instead of
it really did.
All day long there, and not just there, all of us were ignored. You go in a grocery store and you see literally, like, you can see 50 people. How many people do you make an eye contact with?
Zombie Kroger.
Yeah. And that's a good example too. Because
what's one of your big goals of 2021? Tell them real quick. 2022, crap.
I don't know. What is it?
That you want to say people's names.
Oh, yeah. That is huge.
That goes to what you're saying here.
Yes, because I felt really bad because I was listening and talking with him, but then I didn't get his name. And that should have been the first thing and that's what I'm going to do. That should have been the first thing, because one of the things that people love hearing is their own name. And I never understood that, but it's so true, because how many times do we hear our own name? We don't. But if somebody says, oh, Michelle, when you're talking, then it's like, oh, yes, you are talking to me. This isn't just like a blanket, like, hey, how you doing, to somebody. And so I want to be able to do that with people. And I think that you don't have to have money, you don't have to have food, you don't have to have anything, but you can say hello and you can wish them your
time and energy.
That's it. It's so simple.
Yeah. Graham's here, by the way. Graham, I hope you're still here. I'm so glad to see you on here. I never see you on this show, and I know that you're the kind of dude who'd be down for this type of talk, because Graham's a very thoughtful human being. He's a friend of mine from the fantasy baseball realm. Hi. He's also Canadian, by the way. He's a fellow Canadian. He says, y'all should take up shrimping in the Detroit River. Cool to check in. That's great, Graham. That sounds like Graham. He's a very dry sense of humor, but he's a good human being. He's a new father, too. So I hope fatherhood's going well. Yeah, good luck with all that, Graham. And that's going to do it. That's it. So we just covered a bunch of stuff there at the end that we're talking about. The bottom line was intention, effort, execution, and it all starts with planning and discussion first. So remember that. And as you go into this new year, we wish you nothing but love and kindness and respect. And we love you all. We thank you so much for being a part of the show. We can't wait for 2022, bigger, better than ever, and we'll be even wiser than we ever were before. Bye. Oh, you say it.